Yeah, hi guys. This is Vishal here from DrapCode. So in this video, we will understand about multi-tenant plugin, like how exactly it works, how it exactly helps you to create a multi-tenant SaaS application in DrapCode. So let's start. So I'll start with a blank project, and I'll just create a blank project and call it, let's say, multi-tenant. So the project got created successfully. So I'll just add authentication to the system. Okay, so basically we need users and roles, so that we'll add authentication. So I'll say I choose the default authentication settings, and I'll continue. I don't need to do anything as of now, and I'll just continue. Okay, so we have created a blank project. It has just user and role, which is part of authentication. Right. After that, what we'll do, we'll go to the plugins. But before going to the plugins, let's create a collection. Let's create our tenant collection. Like, so exactly which collection is the tenant. So here, let's say create a employee directory. Okay, so I want to create an organization and an employee, and each organization should only see the employees which are part of that organization, right? So I'll say organization. You can create organization, company, whatever. So this is the tenant collection. So this basically a reference of this collection will get added to every collection. So there is a proper segregation of data, right? So I'll say organization. I'll create. I'll just add one field. Let's say name of the organization. I can add as many fields as you want. So there is no such restriction. So let's say name, and other could be, let's say, address, or let's say city. So we have created organization. Okay, and let's create another collection for employees. Let's say each organization will have many employees, and we want to create an employee and organization relationship. Right. So let's say employee. Now employee will have a, let's say, full name. Another field, let's say date is date of joining. Okay, and let's say one more static option. Let's say department. I'll say sales, marketing, engineering, whatever. Okay, and that's all. So I've created a very simple collection for employee, name, department, and date of joining, in a collection called organization, right? And we want to create a multi-tenant application. So each organization should only see the employees which are part of their organization. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the plugins and install the multi-tenant plugin. So you can either scroll down or just search. Okay, so multi-tenant SaaS user. So I'll install it. So now when we are installing it, it will ask us that which is your deciding collection, which collection will decide that, okay, these are the data of tenant. So what it will go, it will create an entry of that collection reference field in all other collections. So I'll show you. So let's say organization is the tenant collection, and we'll say just use name, ID, whatever. So this is basically when we are displaying the tenant, which field to display. So I'm saying whenever you are displaying the organization, show me the name of the organization, right? And I'll say install plugin. So something which I have already explained, that it will create a reference in all the collections. It will also create a filter for logged in users. So logged in user only see the data of the company which they are logged in. Proceed. So now if I go to my organization, it will remain as it is because this is my tenant collection. But if I go to my employee, I can see a new reference of organization is added, right? And this is something which is coming from the plugin when we installed. So if we try to go and add an employee, it will ask us to give the organization as well of the employee. But if we go and add an organization, it won't ask us that extra thing because this is a tenant collection. So let's just create two organizations quickly. So one is Apple, New York. Okay. Other organization, let's say Microsoft, let's say London, let's say another organization, let's say Google, and city is Washington. Okay, so I've just added 3 organizations. Let's go and add few employees. Employee 1, some date of joining, some department, let's say sales, organization, Apple. Okay, so I'll create 3 employees, one for each organization. Employee 2, some joining, some department, and Microsoft. Employee 3, some date of joining, some department, Google. Okay, so I've created 3 organizations and 1 employee for each organization. Okay, now let's go in the UI and see how this gets handled. So I'll go to my dashboard. So let's go to dashboard, and then probably we display the list of data, and then we'll also create a form to add new employee. Okay, so this is my default dashboard. I'll just remove all of this. Okay, and in the page I'll just add a permission. Okay, I think it's already added, then only logged in user can come here, which is fine. Okay, so now just display the list of employees. Okay, so I'll go to my component, drag a one section layout, and drop a data table. Okay, so now we'll say get data from collection. Which collection? Employee. We want to show the list of employees whenever someone log in from an organization, and filters. So here you will see that it has created couple of more filters, right? All items mean all employees, right? Irrespective of our organization. So this filter is useful when you want to build a super admin view where they see everything. But for this particular organization, we'll choose this third filter. All items of current logged in users Tenant. So basically it is saying all employees of current logged in users employer, or basically its organization. Okay, because when you have created a user, it has added a organization reference in user as well. So I'll say that whichever organization this current logged in user belongs to, show the employees of that organization. Okay, so I'll remove this thing. I'll show you how this works. So let me go to collection and go to user. So whenever someone log in, they have to belong to an organization, right? So you see user also has an organization, right? Employee is a directory, but this is the user who is login, or let's say a HR person who is login and see the employees of those organization. So these HR themselves has to belong to some organization, because now it is a multi-tenant application. So everyone in the system will belong to some organization or some tenant, right? And we also have the capability to switch tenants. So let's say there is one person and he's or she is handling multiple tenants or multiple organizations. They can basically switch organization, and people can also add other users to the organization. I'll show you how that done. So before that, let's create couple of users. I'll just create user. Let's say google@email.com. Let's say this is a HR of Google, the person of Google who is basically seeing this organization. I'll say Google save. Okay, I'll another user apple@email.com. Organization is Apple, because I've created 2 users. When they log into their organization, they will only see the data of their specific organization, right? So let's go to the home page. Home page is blank, so I'll just add a link to the login page. That's all. You go to the home page, drop some hero section. So there's one. Okay, I'll say login, and I'll just say go to the login page. That's all. Now I'll click preview, and we log in from some employee so that we can see what data they are seeing. Okay, so I'll log in. Come to the login page. Login is already configured, and I think it is taking user to the dashboard page. So I logged in as an employee of Apple, right? So okay, I think it is taking to the home page. So let's fix this login event. So I'll say when the person with the user login, take them to dashboard rather than the home page, take them to dashboard. Okay, I'll come back here, go to the login page again. I'll say if the user is Apple, take them to the dashboard. Okay, so now I'll come to a dashboard, and I should only be seeing the data of Apple. So here you see I am seeing employee 1, which is sales, and this. So let's go and see what employee 1 is for. employee 1 is for Apple. Now, if I log in from other, so let's log in from Google. So now I will only see the data of Google, right? Engineering employee 3. So I'll say employee 3, engineering is for Google. Now let's add new employee. So let's say this HR is creating more data. So the data should also go to a specific tenant. So I'll go here, I'll add a page. I'll say add employee. Okay, basically copy from, so you can create a blank page or copy from existing page. I don't want to design again, so I'll just copy from the dashboard page, right? So it has the same layout because I created a page to create a new employee. Okay, so it is here. I'll remove the data table because now we don't need data table, and I'll just drop a collection form, right? So I'll say collection form to basically add new employee, and I'll say which collection employee event we have not created. So let's quickly go and create an event. Here you see it has brought the 3 fields of the employee collection which we have created, which is full name, joining date, department. It is not asking which organization this employee should go. That is something which we will handle behind the scene from that multi-tenant plugin. So it takes the organization of the person who is currently logged in the system. So I'll go to the event, add an event, and I'll say create employee. In the collection, I'll just save data, employee created, some error, and that's all. Okay, so we have created a very simple event, which is just creating a new employee and probably redirect back to the dashboard page. That's all. I'll go back to my add employee page and add this event to the form. We'll go to the collection form settings and add the event, which is create employee. That's it. Now let's go to the dashboard and add a link to go to add employee page. Okay, so we are here. I'll drop a component, let's say a link somewhere here, and I'll say add employee. Go to the settings, take me to add employee page. That's all. Okay, so now let's reload the page. So now if this person add a new employee, the employee should go to the organization of this logged in person, right? So the logged in person is from Google. Probably let's display organization also here, or we'll do it. So I'll say add employee. Now add an employee, let's say employee 4, some joining, some department. Okay. Now employee 4 is getting created by someone who is logged in as a person or a user of a specific organization. I think it was Google. So let's see. So you see employee 4 and employee 3 are coming because I think now they belong to the same organization. So if I go and log in as an like a user of Google or sorry Apple, it will show me the data of that Apple. Okay, so let me just log in again. So we have created a user for Apple. Now let's go and add an employee from Apple, and that employee should come up. So add an employee. Let's add employee 5. Some joining date. It's a department sales. Submit. So employee 1 and employee 5, because I think they belongs to the same organization. Employee 5 and employee 1. Apple. So basically here they are seeing the data which belongs to their organization, and we don't have to do anything explicitly. We don't have to pass anything in hidden. We don't have to choose organization and all those things, right? So this basically covers a very basic concept where you create a form, you create a table, and everyone will see the data of their specific tenant. Now let's say I have some user and he is managing multiple companies. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's create a page. Okay, so let's say team members. So who these people are? These people are, let's say, another HR employees of the same organization, and when they log in, they should also see the data of their tenant, right? So I'll say just copy from dashboard so that we don't have to design from scratch. Okay. Now let's go and see a couple of events which are there basically for adding an employee to a tenant. Right? Sorry, adding a user to a tenant. So let's say add new user to tenant. Okay, we'll see how this works. So once you install a multi-tenant plugin, you start seeing these options multi-tenant. And here the capabilities are that add existing user to this tenant, create and add user. Let's say if the user does not exist, then we'll create a new user and add to this tenant. Then if you want to remove user from a tenant, and this is switch tenant. So basically you want to switch from one account to another account. So let's say add user to tenant, or let's say create user and add to tenant. So this is what we'll do. We'll say create a new user, assign the user role, success, failure, and that's all. Okay, and let's go and bind this event to some user. Okay, we have already created a page team member. Let's create a form here to basically add a new team member. Okay. So go to my component. Okay, so I'll just drop a collection form. Okay, let's say here we are adding a new user. So I'll just choose a collection called user. And then in the event, instead of create something or create a user or sign up page, so we'll just choose add new tenant, new user to tenant. So basically create a user and add to tenant, right? Role, it is already coming from the event, so we don't have to add role here. So we'll just give username and password. And let's do one more thing. So it also gives you the capability to display that who the current logged in tenant is, right? So if I go to the settings, if I say get content, I say get content from logged in user tenant. So let's say I just want to display the name of the tenant, right? Or display the name of the organization for which the user is getting added. So this will basically show us that which tenant it is, and then add a user to the tenant. Okay. So let's say I'll go to my dashboard and just display and add a link to add invite team members. Okay. So I'll just add a link. So invite team members. Okay. I'll just add some margins towards the right. Okay. And this page will take me to the this button will take me to the team members page. Okay. And just add a team member so that we see how we add a new team members to the, or basically new users to the tenant. Okay. So I'll reload the page again. Let's say invite team members. Okay, this will take me to add users to tenant page. So let's add another user. Let's say user5@gmail.com and some password. Right, and here you see it is showing me Apple because I am now logged in as a tenant, Apple tenant, right? I'll submit. So this will create a user5 and add it to Apple. So now if we log in with this user, we should also see the data of Apple because this user is getting added to Apple, right? So let's go and see the users. So user5, organization is one, which is basically a user can belong to multiple organizations. So here we are just showing the number of organizations this user is managing. As of now, everyone is managing one. We'll cover if they manage multiple in just a few minutes. Okay. So now I'll just log in with this user. User. So now this person is also logged in as Apple, right? A tenant Apple. So okay. So they should also see the data of Apple organization, which is they are exactly seeing. Now, if some data gets added here, all the users of that organization will see the data, right? Because this is a multi-tenant application where data is getting controlled at the tenant level. So now let's see if there's a person who is managing multiple tenants. So what we can do? Okay, so let's go to the same page, team members page, and let's add another form. Okay, and this time we'll create an event where we'll add an existing user to the tenant. Okay, so I'll go to the event and let's create an event. Add existing user to tenant. Okay, I'll create. Same thing. I'll go to the multi-tenant. Now this time say add user to tenant. So this will basically look for the existing user and add to the tenant. Added user, some error. Okay, that's all. Now we'll go back to the page and add another form, and there we will just take the username or the email field and add user to an existing tenant. Okay, so I'll go to my component, drop a collection form again. Let's say this time here I'll say user. Okay, so and this time we'll add an event, add existing user to tenant. So we are saying don't create any user. If you already exist, just add to the same tenant. So now I'll not take the password because the user is already existing, so it may have the password. I don't give the role because it already have the role. Now I'll just say, let's say add user to organization or to tenant. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll go and look for some existing user and then add this to a tenant. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to the user. So this user, you remember, we just created, which is basically has only one tenant, which is Apple, right? Now let's say add this user to Google, or let's say add some other user. Let's say add this Google to manage this account also, right? This tenant. So I'll say, I'll give the email address of the user and I'll say just submit, or basically submit the form. So now this user will also get added to the other tenant, right, which is adding it. So this Google will also get added to Apple. Okay, so I'll reload this page. So now this user is actually managing two tenants. Okay, which two you can probably see here if you go and add it. This user is now added to Apple and Google. So this person basically can switch tenant. And how they switch tenant, that we'll just see quickly here. So I'll go create another event. Let's say switch tenant. I'll go and add an event. Now in the multi-tenant, I'll say switch user tenant. Okay, so some message, or we can just leave all these options as blank because these are all optional. You can give an alert message that if you want a prompt before they are switching a tenant. So I'll just leave it as it is, or it reloads the page by default. If you don't want, you can skip a page reload using this. But for now, I want to reload the page, and I let's say just show some message. Switch success. Save. We have created a very simple event which is saying switch tenant. Now let's go to the dashboard and add a button to switch tenant so that the person who logged in as google@email.com should be able to manage data of Google and Apple both. Okay. So I'll go to the component. I'll look for switch tenant component. There's a new component built for this, which you can place anywhere, and it will basically switch the tenant. Okay. So let's say I can give whatever name I want to give. Okay. Switch tenant, let's say. And it will show you all the list of organizations to which this user is added as a user. Okay, so I'll just go back and just reload the page. Now let's also display the current logged in tenant here, right? So that we know that which tenant's data we are seeing. So I'll go to the settings, say get content from user tenant. Let's say name of the tenant. Reload again. So currently this user is logged in as Apple. They are seeing Apple. So let me log in as Google. So now let's go to the user and basically log in from the user who is part of multiple tenants. So I'll say google@email.com. I'll come here, go to the login page, and now I log in from this person, google@email.com. So now this user is managing data of two tenants, so they should be able to switch tenant. So as of now, they are logged in as Apple, showing the data. But if you go to switch tenant, you can see Apple and Google, right? So let me switch to Google. So now I have switched the tenant, and you can see we are seeing the data of Google. So basically, you like if you add more people to this tenant, they can switch tenant, and every time they switch, they will see the data of that particular tenant. So this is a basic introduction how multi-tenant plugin works. We are adding much more capabilities here. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again in the next video. Bye-bye.